Yeah,
just take
I
a
figured
second.
those things happen.
So we have a few people joining us.
Awesome. We will just, I love whoever Fireflies is.
Hey, everybody. Thank you all for your patience with us logging in. We were having some connection issues, but welcome, Tammy. Welcome, Fireflies. I never know who that is, but I see you on here quite often. So welcome. Awesome. And then Carrie,
Tammy.
Carrie, do you need me to also go live on Workplace?
Nope, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, perfect.
I'm also recording. Hi, Pam. Thank you.
Hi, Carrie. No worries.
I'll be on camera in just a minute. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm using my hotspot on my phone because I've had a few problems. And Fireflies, by the way, is Derek, who is in Connecticut. So hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek. Oh, yes, I see Derek's name at the very end. Well, you know, it actually, before I get started, I was like, oh, do I have 45 minutes that I can talk? And I'm like, oh man, these girls just slashed about 5 minutes off my talking time.
Oh, you have a whole hour if you really want it, Pam.
Which is good. So anyway, am I ready to start?
Yeah. So Pam, you're all ready. Let me just do a quick introduction. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. We are doing live stream in Workplace. Pam, we'll get this recorded, and we're also going to post in YouTube. So if anybody who's watching wants to go on YouTube because they don't want to search in Workplace for it, you can find it on Carrie's YouTube channel. And Pam, in the future, if you ever want to use this video to send out, it'll be in YouTube. So you can do that, or anybody who's listening in. So Pam Allen is an incredible agent, coach. She is so inspiring, and we're really, really honored to have her present today, talking about goals and how to really solidify your goals so that you can execute and take massive action as you implement them into your life. So without further ado, Pam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for that introduction. So as we said, my name is Pam Allen, and just a little side note, I got very nervous this morning. I woke up at 4:30. Am I going to do all right? But here I am. So I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, and my current location I want to share with you is on my sun porch. The weather today is beautiful. Actually, this morning it was wetter weather. Another little fun note is that I'm using my ironing board as my stand-up desk. So you gotta just
good for you, Pam. We have to make it work, right? Those stand-up desks are expensive and hard to come by. So good for you.
They are. And another little fun piece is my husband's in the house vacuuming, so I didn't want to get in his way. A bit more about me. I love to sew. I sew garment pieces. Linen is my favorite fabric. And our dog, Griffin, our rescue dog, we take several walks a day. So that's a fun thing to count on. The opportunity to join EXP, thank you gals very much, came to me a couple of months ago. And it's really great to be a part of this amazing community. And it means a lot to me. So thank you everyone who's joining me live today and anybody who's seeing this video recorded. I want to encourage us all, myself included, before we start, is to please take a moment, just look around. Are you present to what we're doing? Can you sit back in your seat, give yourself permission just to spend this time together, listen, participate if you like, and you know, thank yourself, acknowledge yourself for taking the time out to learn something. If you need I don't think you're going to need a notepad and a pen, but if you do, grab one. Let me slow down because sometimes I get excited and I tend to talk too fast. My hope is that today serves you in a number of ways. And to start out, I am curious. We have options on how we spend our days. Tammy, Nicole, Derek, I'm curious, what made you decide to join this group today that I titled Rethink How You Think About Goals? type it in the chat, open your mic. Got it. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. You know, so it's on my calendar every week. Oh, I love it, Tammy. And so you didn't even filter this through. You're just like, hey, there's a value add here. I'm showing up. I appreciate that. Goals for me, I'll just say for me, is that 4-letter word that I love to hate. It's funny, this morning, I subscribed to Momentum on my Google screen. And this morning, the message said, focus on the positive. Now, I think it was the universe saying, okay, you got this. And you're talking about how to rethink our thoughts to think about our goals. So that was just my little 2 thumbs up this morning. And the purpose for this title that I came up with is that we can all use new thoughts in anything we think. And that also applies to this love-hate word of goals. Now, we're all on here together because we have a common theme. We're in the real estate world. And as we start to wrap up 2022, we want to check in and see what kind of gains we made towards our business goals. And let's not forget, we also want to check in and see what kind of gains did we make that we made in other areas of our life. So on a scale of 1 to 5, of course, the usual, 1 being and 5 being 5 stars, being, I can coast a little bit for the rest of the season. How do you rate? Type in the chat, say out loud, how do you rate yourself on your business goals for 2022? Here's a little reminder. How do you rate yourself? I have a 3. Tammy?
Everyone's a 3.
Oh, is everybody a 3? Thank you for checking. All right, well, hey, you know what? Thank you for that. And we'll get back. Using the same scale, think of another goal or dream that you've been working towards. And how much progress have you made so far this year on that dream or goal? And again, type in the chat. Ooh, Haley. 4. She crossed the middle line.
Pam, I'd like to just come off really quickly off of mute because I just want to share that sometimes the goal, like I look at it as where was I at this time last year? Not just financially, but how was I actually feeling? How was I thinking? How was I processing things? Am I better than I was last year? 100%. 100%, because not only did I take massive action in stepping into the person that I needed to become, but I think my biggest achievement was acknowledging that I needed to let go of the person who I was in order to become who I need to be, not just for myself, but for my children, for my husband, and for all of the people that I am in touch with on a daily basis. And that was the hardest thing. And that in of itself, being able to do that, that emotionally impacts me more than any like financial goal could be. So
absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. And we're going to talk about that too, because I venture to say what shifted for you were your beliefs. And then, so stay tuned, right? So, all right, great. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but thank you anyway. I can get it back. Based on your rating, like a 3, whatever some of the others were, what does that little voice, that little person, your little gremlin over here, what are they saying to you? What are your present thoughts about that number that you gave yourself? I guess maybe some I can't open the chat and look at the same time. So let me know, please. Could've
So
worked harder.
Christy said, yeah, she could have worked harder.
do.
I think a lot of our limiting beliefs come up, like,
Yeah,
you know, or this imposter syndrome comes up. You're not enough. You could have done more. You're not meeting your own expectations. If you're not even meeting your own expectations, how can you meet someone else's?
yeah, exactly. And now, and Christy, for example, that's one side of the stick. We've got two ends of the stick that we can talk to ourselves about, right? Coming from a positive place, what would you say to yourself?
So Tammy said, stop beating yourself up and embrace the progress. So what
Yeah,
that kind of, what that kind of says to me is obviously you need to celebrate your successes. There's actually some psychological, proof in that if we actually spend time every single day taking a minute to recognize what we actually did accomplish, which is unnatural. Naturally, we go towards what didn't we get done? What didn't we do well? But if we actually made ourselves sit down at the end of the day and go, wow, I actually did finish that, or I did get that accomplished, and it doesn't matter how small it is, that when you celebrate your wins, it actually creates an increased self-motivation. It's a very motivational thing to do, because when we have those wins and we take time to recognize them, it gives us that self-trust and self-confidence that makes us want to go do more. The opposite is true. When we're beating ourselves up, we feel bad about ourselves. It's very, very demotivational.
absolutely. And then in comes that, the title, Rethink. We just have to rethink how we talk to ourselves, and for sure. So if I was sitting with you guys and I had a chance to say, hey Carrie, hey Tammy, hey Christy, do you guys ever want to quit? What would you say? It's just us. Type in the window. If I say, do you ever
Like every 5 minutes?
Right, every 5 minutes.
It depends on the day. It depends on the day.
Yeah. So we all want to quit at times, sometimes a lot, but we're here because we didn't quit, right? Now, I'm going to say, I don't mean to be a doggy downer, but we do sometimes going to quit when we hold back on what we believe is possible. We quit when something isn't going quite like we thought it would, and we look for an exit strategy, right? We quit, think of us as agents, we run our own business, when we refuse to be honest about our financial strategies and the stability of our business. So we want to quit, we don't quit, but there's room. When I took this on, I thought to myself, as I share with you gals, and I'm not sure if there's any guys on here right this second, but to you guys, it nagged at me a lot about how was I thinking about what my future looked like, what my goals look like, what business looked like, friendships, finances. And I know that we have the SMART strategy, specific, measurable, attainable results in a certain amount of time, yet I wasn't inspired. It didn't feel like a way for me to live life on my terms. And I felt like I was losing sight of the end results of my dreams and passions. And I was feeling both overwhelmed and underwhelmed. Does that show up? I'd love to know. I need to do a little adjusting here for a second because I lost. Okay. I'm curious, and this is really a yes or no question. Did that resonate with you? Do you see some of the truth in that of yourself? Losing sight, feeling overwhelmed. Yeah. Thank you. So what I realized was what I was feeling felt like a symptom, but I needed to understand what the root cause was. So I started to take the time and check back in what my life vision was. And so my next question to you, and I'm going to find my handy dandy little index card. I love index cards and I love colored index cards. So my question now is, thinking of your life vision, where are you now? Think of your goals and your dreams. Are you close? Are you nowhere near? You have no idea. It's just all, day by day. We're gonna swim in Haley's pond a lot. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. Oh, Christy, you know what? So you're on your way. You're getting close. And true, Carrie. Again, that's how our thoughts are. Every day we get closer and closer. And thank you so much for those responses. So what I want to do is I want to challenge each of us to be our own instigator. I mean, stir that stuff up and start connecting some dots. Start thinking, who do I need to be? Where do I want to be? How do I get there? Not always the how, but to make our dreams and our goals come true, obviously we need to believe that they'll happen. We need to expect that they're going to happen. And we also need to have the imagination so we can create the end result of what we want to see. Did that make sense? Because when I wrote it out, I had to read it a couple of times. Okay, thanks for all the head nods. So if we looked at the circle, the wheel of life, we're not going to stick just in business. I'd love to know, just again, type in the chat, unmute yourself. What's one area of your life where you would want to create change? So I'm just going to, health, finances, relationship, family. Finances. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah. True. So let me focus in on Tammy saying finances, because that's a big one for so many people. And when we think, what are the thoughts that we think about when we think about our success and our finances? Don't filter it. If I said, how are things going? What's happening for you with your finances? Where do our thoughts tend to go? Our beliefs.
How much we make is a direct reflection of how successful we are.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say it tends to always come back to a number. Like if I make this amount, then I will be successful. And I think, that's what it seems to come back to that.
And so
one other thing, Pam, we have a speaker coming actually tomorrow. I'm going to plug it. Everybody should join this call tomorrow at what time, Haley? Is it 10 Pacific?
It's 10 Pacific.
So she's a financial advisor, but she works with entrepreneurs, and she also has, she's written many books, and she has some really great strategies, but she also thinks about money a lot differently. And it's always a very impactful call when she speaks for us. But one thing she said to me is, it doesn't matter how much you make, it's how much you keep. And I think that a lot of people have a mindset of how much more can I make? How can I make more money, make more money, make more money? And that's an exhausting thought process, especially as a realtor and an entrepreneur. So what are we doing strategically to keep more of it? What are we doing to make that money work for us? What are we doing, to diversify? That's a better place to think, because it's not as daunting, and making our money work for us and not getting ourselves stuck in like, we can't be successful, we can't have investment properties, and we can't do this and that unless we make X amount of dollars. It's actually not true, but it is something that I think a lot of us have the mindset of.
That's exactly right. And you know, just kind of open kimono here. I realized that I didn't do a great job asking that question. Even though I got responses, I was expecting people to say, "Oh, I don't know how to succeed." You know, learning how to manage my finances doesn't come easy to me. You know, so it's these limiting beliefs, which in a way we could extrapolate from some of these things that you just shared. So I have. Uh, uh, I have that call on my schedule tomorrow. Um, you know, again, this feels like even just another way to brushstroke and paint this, because we've all heard that our thoughts become things. And the question is, where do our thoughts come from? Right? Sometimes we think this and then we believe that, but they actually start with what we believe. So if you picture an equation, we have our beliefs, which turn into our thoughts, which then represent our actions and our words. So our life experiences are formed by our thoughts, which come from our beliefs. Sorry, I have an itch for a second. So picture this. We have beliefs. Those filter into our thoughts, and then we take actions. We say words, we make decisions, and then those things all fall on the right-hand side of the equation, which equal life experiences. So if our life experience needs to change, we know from math class that sometimes you have to manipulate the other side of the equation. So therefore, let's think about rethinking how we think about goals, shift our beliefs, work on the left-hand side of the equation to make the right-hand side of the equation the life experiences and to meet our dreams and our goals. I kind of lost my train of thought. Totally gonna say. Right? So let's, right? So here's my next thing. So let's practice thinking and speaking in new ways to begin installing these new beliefs. We got to get rid of the old stuff. I can't do that. I'm too fat. I'll never be a success. Money doesn't grow on trees. All of those adages that we've heard. And now that's good. That's nice to know. But if someone said, how do we get our life back on track? How do we start a new journey? Because sometimes we do feel like we've gotten so far off track that we have no idea who the real me, you is. We've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten that we've got unlimited potential. We've got dreams and visions that, just they want to come to life. Exactly. So if you ask yourself, what are you doing with life? Ask yourself quietly, what am I doing with my life? Figure out, then ask yourself, do I like that answer? And again, if we were a fly on the wall, and we looked down and saw the actions you were taking, would we know what you were committed to? And usually, when we evaluate ourselves, we realize that we're not taking actions to which we're committed to. So some steps to take as we start to wrap up. Be yourself, right? Just step one, just be you. We're all one of a kind. That's what's most important. So it doesn't really matter what hat you wear as long as you are you. And I say, start with where you are. Don't look back. Look forward, start with where you are. Whatever that is, it needs to be your starting point. Don't second guess any earlier decisions you've made. And another thing is follow the fun. You know, it may sound kind of irresponsible in ways, yet it's probably the most responsible thing we can do for ourselves more often than when we do, right? What do you like to do for play? What makes your heart sing? I know what Carrie does. Meaning I see a lot of water and dogs in her picture. And again, the tip number 4, exactly, it is super motivating to follow fun. And we think sometimes as grown-ups and business people, we forget to follow fun. I love those double Fs, by the way. And tip number 4 is to begin. So whatever you decide to do, just start. Even if you're not sure, sit down, dream, write out your vision, believe in yourself, take baby steps that move you in a direction that have meaning for you, right? So again, let's rethink how we think about goals. Something that sparks joy, something that we want to do anything, something we want to take action, weave new steps, think new thoughts. Inch forward as you get back on track. I encourage, sorry, my husband just sent me a text message and I'm like, why? Why? Because it just popped up on my phone. Sorry about that. I know, I mean, on my computer. I want to start to leave us with this. I encourage all of us to allow ourselves to be inspired. Start dreaming really big. Start taking consistent action. Don't worry about how the dreams are going to come about. Take the baby steps. Check your limiting beliefs at the door. Oh, Christy, thank you so much. Thank you. Don't just ask for wealth and abundance, but ask that it come to you quickly and easily. Don't just ask for a new job, for example. Ask for a career that thrills and excites you. So rethink, add these words, you know, come quickly, excites me, you know, lets me have fun. Don't limit yourself to specifics. Just write a vision and a goal for yourself. We create our success by choosing the thoughts and the beliefs that we want to take action on so we can get to that right side of the equation. Now, I feel like I did a lot of talking, but I know Carrie and Haley would have jumped in if they had something to say. So
Yes.
there is, okay, great.
Let's have everybody unmute and just share something that was helpful to them. And how can you rethink your goals in this last quarter? I mean, I like sprint goals personally, and I put this on Facebook. My husband and I are like, okay, we've had a lot of fun all spring and summer with wedding and family in town and the lake and all the things. And now we both feel like we need to get back to our focus on our health, because prior to that we were extremely focused and then we lost all focus, and now we got to get somewhere back in the middle so we feel good about ourselves again. And so we did a sprint goal, like between it was last week and the time we're going to EXPCon, which is basically 5-week time. We just set some really strict goals and boundaries in terms of what we're doing so that we can get back on track. And for me, sprint goals are super helpful because they're not so far out that it feels like it's a never ending thing, but it's like I can really focus on it. So I love that for business or financial or relationship goals. If you can really have a period of time that you say, by this time, you know, I want to just really focus hard on this so that I can get back on track. And then it seems like the momentum flows from there. So let's hear what other people say, like between now and the end of the year, how do you change the way you've been thinking about your goals and what would you do differently? And Tammy, I saw you on mute, so I can't wait to hear from you.
Well, I
Hello.
too like sprint goals too. I think that's what really gets me. And I feel like there's an end. Okay, I can do this for 6 weeks or whatever that time frame is, you know. So that's what motivates me. If it's too long, I just lose interest in it and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. So I can definitely relate to that. I think that one thing for me in all of this is this year, like you were saying, Haley, that, you know, from where you were last year to where you are right now, you know, it's been a lot of changes. It's a lot of different things. I actually switched to EXP in April. So I'm kind of rebuilding all of it and trying to learn this whole thing. And it feels like it's a fire hose sometimes, you know. So I have to stop myself and realize, you know, how much stuff I've done and how much progress I've made through all of it. And it's when you feel like you're not making any progress, you have to stop, you know, like you said, and just kind of realize this is a lot, you know, and you've done this much stuff. So anyway, going to build was really awesome for me. I, you know, really enjoyed the whole synergy there, and it really helped me push myself to, you know, to keep going even more, to, you know, realize that I am making a lot of changes and that it has made a difference, you know, and it is making a difference. So this time next year, you know, I want to be able to say, you know, where was I last year? So
Yeah, I love that concept because I think our culture and our society has conditioned us to believe that change happens immediately.
yeah,
It happens immediately.
it's so hard.
Look at everything that we're surrounded by. Everything happens within seconds, minutes. I was just talking with Carrie yesterday about how humans have now become like the new goldfish because our minds are like, our attention span is like 22 seconds now. 22 seconds, like I think 40 years ago was like a minute and 15 seconds. So everything happens so quickly. Our food can come to us so quickly. Just everything, right? We can text people, we can get people on video chat. Instantly we can get paid. Like we're not waiting around for a paycheck anymore. Like you can just Venmo somebody money. All of our Instagram and our YouTube and our even now Facebook, like have these like little 30-second reels, right? Because everything is so instant. And the reality is that might be that reality, but that's not everybody's reality. That's not true. And we cannot blanket this concept of things happening so quickly for everything. We have an expectation now because we've been conditioned to believe that things can happen so fast. When we change ourselves, when we evolve is evolution. It takes time to get to where you are now. Imagine if you're just starting in this moment to make some life changes. I'm 35. It's taken me 35 years to get to where I am right now. If I want to take the next step, if I want to step into my genius zone, I can't just pray tonight that that's going to happen. And then tomorrow morning I wake up and all those changes are made. Absolutely not. It starts with a 1-degree shifts, a shift in my mindset, a shift in my routine, a shift in planning my goals and how I interpret things. Carrie and I had this really great conversation yesterday about there are 2 things that we talked about specifically yesterday. The first thing was we can't change anything that happened in our past, right? What happened in our past is solidified. It's written in stone. There's nothing we can do to change it. But what we can change is the future. And we can change the future by shifting our mindset about what happened to us in the past. And that for me is how I've been able to, I guess, write or manifest what my goals are going to be in the future. Because I can choose to look at the things that happened to me in my past as that they happened to me and feel sorry for myself and be the victim and sit in that sediment, if you will. Or I can choose to look at it as that those things happened to me. They happened for me. They were opportunities to propel me into who I needed to be. And I couldn't possibly be who I am now without those things happening for me, for my growth, for opportunity. And that has really helped me to be able to articulate what my goals need to be, not just for myself, but think about all of the people that I'm impacting with every conversation, with every dollar amount that I make, with every moment that I have. This is an opportunity, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity if those specific things didn't happen to me in the past.
Yeah. Well, and thank you. And Tammy too, what I heard, and there's a new book I heard, well, I don't know how new it is, but it's new because I don't own it yet, but it's called The Gap and the Gain by Dr. Hardy. And And I
Yep.
really sat with that for a minute. And I like what you said, Tammy, is you need to think of how far you've come, all of
Mhm.
us do. Instead of focusing, let's rethink our beliefs, our thoughts, our actions, as opposed to, and because sometimes we do go, oh my God, I didn't, I've got this huge gap that I need to close. And as I said in the beginning, think about where you are now with your business goal. So anyway, thank you. I know we've got just a few more minutes together, and I wanted to share for those who are here. As a coach, I have designed a program called Grow Your Own Way in 2023. And that's my link there in the chat window. I'd love to start if you wanted to book a call for 30 minutes. I know we've got stuff to do. We're going to get in. We're going to talk about what's up for you, how to commit to your dreams and get support for your future. Also, I am offering to EXP family a 20% discount on this 4-month packet. So once we have the conversation, and if we decide that this is something that we'd like to work together on, I'll certainly provide you with that coupon code. If you have anyone in mind, if you feel like this isn't for you at this time, but you have anyone in your world you can think of that could benefit from at least having a 30-minute conversation, please share my number with them. And if they are referred by you, I will absolutely honor the EXP family line discount. So thank you guys and gals so much for taking a stand for yourself, asking yourself really big questions, ask yourself who you really are and what can you do with your life. And remember, start today with the end in mind. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Pam. That was so incredibly impactful, and we really appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
It is so
Tammy?
important to get back to the mindset. And, it's interesting. We talk about mindset all the time, but we don't always talk about it in relation to how we're thinking about our goals. And goal setting is so important for success, because if you don't know where you're going, you won't get there. And if you think about it incorrectly, it can really almost be a self-sabotaging behavior at the same time. So, we're getting into that time of year, Pam, where people are goal setting. And they're doing sprint goals till the end of the year, and they are looking at 2023. And so I think this is just a really great reminder to think about it a little bit differently and make sure that you're authentically coming from a place of who you want to be, how you want to show up, just as much as what your specific tangible goals are. And then, really figuring out how you can put that down in a place where you're motivated and inspired to do it, not maybe where you're feeling bad about yourself because you're not achieving every single thing. And so I think that's really, really important. I will say, everybody, I've known Pam for a long time in our other company. She's helped a lot of people. She was a leader of a number of agents. She has a very, very calming and yet very caring demeanor. And so for a lot of people, her coaching resonates very, very well, because there's a care and a candor both that come out, and there's some great accountability. And what she's doing, and I have read through her whole entire website, and I was excited to have her join our family here at EXP, because we're creating a space around us with a lot of different coaches and people that have success and niches and things that they can offer. And if we can get them into our world, and we can expose more and more people and different people that resonate with different people, I know we all have a place that we can go to and people we can go to. And that's really what we want to facilitate here inside of our EXP family tree. So I'm so glad Pam's part of it. I'm glad Haley's part of it. She's coaching people and working with people, and it's been amazing. Tammy, I'm glad you're here at EXP and within our EXP family tree, and please keep showing up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays as well, and invite friends and guests and, colleagues. And we really, really do appreciate it. We have been live streamed. We had a number of viewers, Pam. Haley also posted all your information underneath the live stream in our workplace family tree. So that's great. And you'll be seeing more of Pam, because we're going to ask her to come back on and share with us as the months go. And and we're going to continue to bring, people in with different conversations and panels of coaches, and there's a lot of things to come. So watch for that, and please engage. And, we're here to support you, but we can't help you if you don't come on. So thanks to those of you that did participate today, both in person and via live stream. And we hope that we'll see you next week. Oh, but by the way, tomorrow, Haley.
Yep, tomorrow.
We've got a growth call.
Yep, so we have our growth call tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We have Nicole, I hope I pronounced her last name right. Nicole
Middendorf.
Minnendorf, there we go. And she's going to be coming on. She's a financial advisor. She's going to have some great tips and advice around how to live your best life. And Carrie and I love this conversation because living our best life, it really does involve changing your mindset around what wealth looks like, because wealth doesn't just mean mastering your finances. There's other things that come with that. And again, we talked a little bit about that today, about a number, like Carrie mentioned. Sometimes we get very like obsessed with this number, and that this number is a reflection of who we are as an individual. And that's just not true. So we encourage you all to come join us tomorrow as we host Nicole and her topic of living your best life.
Yeah, you guys, this is going to be impactful because her story is really impactful and she's extremely knowledgeable. And I know you will take away 2-3 tips to help you keep more of your money. So don't, again, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And then what can you do to utilize it for your future? And a lot of her tips, and she is not with EXP, and of course, because she's not an agent and she didn't really know about EXP, but a lot of the things that she talks about are so synergistic with the opportunity we have at EXP that it's just really quite interesting. So I look forward to that. I think it's going to be great off of the call we had with Pam today, because obviously her way of goal setting and a more holistic approach is really, in alignment with how Haley and I think and run our lives and our businesses. And also, I think the speaker tomorrow. So thanks again, Pam, for everything. Thanks for sharing your beautiful view with us behind you. It looks amazing. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.